explain that statement because in politics, if somebody misunderstands, misquotes, or you allow your communication to be misread or to be misunderstood, you have to own it. So I own it, and that is why I issued the statement. Not that the context was wrong. Not that the context was wrong. You support Manchester United?
I do.
I support Manchester United, so we can't use it as a... You support Accra House of Folk? Or Kotoko? Okay, so I'm a die-hard fan of Kotoko. So if I'm teasing Oli people, and I said, more Oli for, I'm not really insulting Olympics. So I'm just upping Kotoko for because we need Kotoko ni. Right? So it was totally misunderstood. But it generated a lot of backrow. But I would always ask the Nkrumah is God figures. I apologize to them. But they should go and read Kwame Nkrumah's last days from Guinea. His book. How he described his own CPP. He said the CPP was dead. That's the Kwame Nkrumah's writing. So we don't say these things out of lack of respect. You know me. I have friends everywhere. Things, Kumininis, are saying that they are in consultation with you on that same thing. Isn't that a problem for you? So were they engaged before you came to make that announcement? Probably not. So I'm just saying that the budget, I said I'll give 6 over 10.
6 over 10, that's a pass.
A very good pass. A very good pass. 6 over 10, because I haven't seen anything new, and they are managing the physical constraints of which they have to operate under. They are benefiting from the debt restructuring. He said it. He said 95%. He's got a huge cut. Debt restructuring, profound gold and cocoa prices. Never in the history, 60 years, have we had cocoa at $8,000, $10,000, with some of the receipts of the fund, of the cocoa board. Ever. We've had it this year. We've had astronomical gold prices. When you have all these, I can only pray that it continues, because if it continues, it's good for all of us in the country.
I want to put on record that, yes, we respect what the judge has said. We vehemently disagree with him. I know that I won the election with a difference of 3,734. That is a clear victory. And if you look at the pink sheets, it's on record that they've admitted that every single pink sheet was given to all the political parties. I have my 152 pink sheets. They have their 152 pink sheets. And if you put the results together, we have won the elections. For some reasons, powers that may be, they decided to come to court, and knowing very well that maybe they'll be able to use the state's powers to overturn certain things. But I think that we are in a country that is governed by laws. And that is why the courts are arranged from a lower level to a higher level. So that when a ruling is given at a lower level and you disagree, you move to the next level, which we have done this time. We have completely filed our stay of execution. The lawyer has done that. He's filed the appeal to as well. And we think that God being so good, the next is ours. I'm not afraid, let me put on record that for a run. You see, if genuinely we have to run, we won't have a problem. But if you decide to pave your way through, because you think that you are in government and you can use state powers to be able to coerce the people to vote for you, that's where we have a difficulty. In any case, he came to court with 41 polling stations. And these 41 polling stations are areas that I won with huge margins. But they realized that if they get the judgment for even the 41 polling station, they were going to lose it straight away. So for whatever reason, the judge said that we're going to have a rerun. But we respect it. We have gone to the appeal court. We filed stay of execution, and we will take it from there. It is an interesting story, okay? Because it has never happened before. This is the first time something like this has happened in Ghana. And it should tell all of us that we are not safe. We are not safe. We need to sit up as a nation. Because if the executive can directly come, and you saw the court today, even the regional minister himself was in court. Almost everybody who matters was in court. And that completely told me that, Yale, what you are sensing is what is going to happen. But we will definitely go to the appeal court and see what God will do.
We believe that the petition was frivolous, but the court has decided otherwise. So we respect the decision of the court, but we strongly disagree with the judgment, and we have already shown our agreement by filing a competent notice of appeal, and we've added a motion for stay of execution. As a lawyer, if you have picked certain information that judgment will be compromised, you prepare. So you come for the judgment with a notice of appeal in your packet. And that was exactly what I did. And I had a section of my client that he should be bold, whatever decision that is affirmed, because we knew that was what was going to happen. So it's not even surprising at all. And so the only fight left for us is to follow the due process of the law, and that is by filing a notice of appeal. This is my notice of appeal dated 24th November 2025 at 10:04. The motion for stay of execution is dated 10:13. Now the petitioner has been served with the process, and he decided to throw it away. But that's proper service. In law, if they serve you a process and you throw it away, the bailiff will only go and prove service by saying that you were served but you threw the process away. And that's even contempt of court, but that's for another day. But all I want to say is that we have accepted the decision, we respect it, but we disagree. And that is why we are marching forward to the Court of Appeal, where we believe that they will review the evidence on the record. For example, the evidence on the record is that every candidate was given a copy of the pink sheet. Now, the evidence on the record is that there was violence at the initially designated collation center, which is Pandai. And now, once there was violence, the EC has the right to relocate the collation center. Now, regulation 48 of CI 127 says that the absence of a candidate and his agent at the collation center does not invalidate the results. So if you came to court saying that there were issues with 41 police stations, what is the results of the collated, figures for those police stations that were not having issues? The NDC couldn't answer this in court.
So what's fueling my anger is that, as I stated clearly, and most Ghanaians by now have come to join the fray. They've joined the fray because Kissi Agyabeng subsequently came to admit that he saw Ofori-Atta leave. And even before the departure, he said he had intercepted the letter that Ofori-Atta wrote to the outgoing chief of staff and the incoming chief of staff. Right. So once he stated that, and also stated that he had gone to the security agencies for help and didn't get same, which has turned out to be palpably false. I mean, naturally, as a citizen, I'll be angry, extremely angry. And natural fact, it had been simmering for a while because I had heard, like we say in Ghana, you know, but each time they'll be like, hey, listen, if you go out with it, they will ask you for evidence. If you go out with this allegation, they will ask for evidence. So it's good riddance that eventually he came to admit that, look, he saw Ofori-Atta go, he even had the letter, and I said, then that is the right time that he has to leave, because what better evidence we have than a confession? Thank God there are quite a number of lawyers. I see some in the audience.
The confession was to tell Ghanaians that he couldn't do anything about it.
Oh, but that's hogwash, absolute hogwash. We've shown that he could have done a press conference. We've shown that he could have done a press conference, and the law mandates him to do that. And he had done Ankwa Numa Part 1, and so we wanted Ankwa Numa Part 2. So if he had done a press conference, and you see, it's constitutional. Asking him to come and inform our citizens is constitutional. You find it in the preamble to the Constitution, Article 1, Article 35, and Article 125. That is sovereignty. Sovereignty resides in the people, okay, and for whose benefit and welfare the powers of government are exercised. So if you exercising your statutory powers and you get challenges and no other institution will help you, come back to the owners of the land. This is deep political theory. It's not just constitutional theory. Ask the political experts. On Saturday, you heard Professor Jampo bringing the political science angle. So it's a governance issue. So we shouldn't be sitting here joking, please. And so in that light, tomorrow there's a citizen who is going on a demonstration. Apostle Abraham Lincoln Labi. We should join him, 7:30 at the Brassport. If you don't, it means you are not protecting the Constitution. If you want to protect the Constitution, tomorrow you should be at the demonstration. The special prosecutor comes to tell you that he saw the most valuable suspect. Like in football, you say most valuable player, right? In this one, we say most valuable suspect fleeing the country. And he chooses not to inform the citizens and kept quiet until citizens kept making noise, putting pressure. Then about 10 months on, 5th of November, he now comes to spill the beans. You don't have a special prosecutor. You don't have one. You don't have one.
Earlier we had Mr. Michael Kwame Bodi with the Transparency International. He listed a number of challenges with our institutions and why we are where we are. Yeah. One of the things he talked about was the need for us to strengthen our institutions. And he gave examples. You don't think that perhaps the special prosecutor has found himself in this situation because he and the acts that established him, they don't feel empowered enough?
Not at all.
Strengthened enough?
Not at all, Beatrice. Beatrice, I don't agree. Beatrice, if we open the Special Prosecutor Act right now, right, we would read to you that the Special Prosecutor has police powers. So they said that he went to NIB. Do you know that NIB that by itself doesn't even arrest? The people at NIB who are arrested are actually policemen. When you read the Securities and Intelligence Agencies Act, NIB is an intelligence agency. NIB is not super police. They are not the senior brothers to the Ghana Police Service. They are to gather intelligence. But then as part of their work, then they collaborate with the Ghana Police Service. So the people who arrest, the NIB officers who do the arrest, etc., are actually Ghana Police Service personnel, right? So it's just a ruse. And have you seen the write-up Manasseh did? You know, I earlier on said that I checked with NIB, and they said it's a lie. Kisi never came there asking for any help. And today, Manasseh has corroborated me. He's also done his checks. Just this morning, he's put it out there. So it's a palpable falsehood. Look, it fits into that thing that he's a double agent. He was fighting and still fighting to help Akufo-Addo appointees. Pure and simple. We will continue to make that noise. At least this particular case vindicates me. The Ofori-Atta is Akufo-Addo's cousin and Akufo-Addo's appointee. You see, sometimes I think the law, this time about every time, go and bring hard evidence. It's allowing too many criminals to escape. Because we always knew it. You know, from day one, people kept saying that, look, Kisi Ejabin can't do this job. He's too conflicted. Look, Beatrice, you can go interview Kisi. Ask him, has he ever been in meetings with Ofori-Atta where financial decisions were made? He knows what I'm talking about. Has he worked for Ofori-Atta? Has he worked for Gabi? How can such a person investigate Ofori-Atta? How can such a person investigate Ofori-Atta? We're just going to lose. We'll lose a court case, some of the charges. Because look, let me mention, causing financial loss. Who gave him that authority to do causing financial loss? That power belongs to the Attorney General. You know, when the Cecilia Dapaah matter came, he said that he's not empowered to do money laundering. So he was sending the docket to Iyoko. And then he even gave the money back to Cecilia Dapaah when he could have taken, of course, he would say court order. But my point is that this time, why is he going ahead with causing financial loss when that one he doesn't have the power?
We said we have the men, and we are more knowledgeable than the NDC. Today they beat us to it, didn't they? That's not the only thing they did. They have been able to keep the dollar at 12. Why is anybody not blaming the governor, the finance minister, and the vice president who chaired the economic management team? Is it because I'm a female? I'm a woman. So in this country, where we have too many male chauvinists, it's easy to put your hand in a woman's eye and blame her for something. No. The dollar has been kept. Whether they are putting money in, whatever it is they are doing, President Akufo-Addo made it clear that he only brought Dr. Bawumia to come and help him to fix the economy. He said if I say it in tree, yesikana ye jata, enunti na makofa Dr. Bawumia se ombe yesikane mayen unuanum. If after 8 years yentimi anye sikana, where are the men who are blaming me? Where are those who are pointing fingers? Se mina mima yelusui. What about the fact say 17 to the dollar? All those men, do they not exist? It is sad that I have to come out and talk about a party like this. But the way they are pointing their hands into my eye, I have infections in my eye. And it's time for me to bring out that log. I did not do anything wrong. I am an agent. I'm a tool. The job is by the administrator is to receive funds from finance. And when you receive the funds, you disburse it as approved by Parliament. If you receive funds that is not approved, you cannot be allowed to disburse it. I worked hard. My job was given to me by President Akufo-Addo. By the time President Akufo-Addo was leaving office, he honored a few people that he believed had worked very hard for him. We got various categories, the Order of the Volta and all that. And I'm proud to say that President Akufo-Addo honored me. And up till today, whenever he sees me, he thanks me for a good work done. I want to thank...
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to speak in support of the motion. Mr. Speaker, honestly speaking, Ghana man will tell you the case is settled. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians have come to know between we and the MPP who are the best managers of the economy. Mr. Speaker, an independent judgment is here with us. Mr. Speaker, I've been here for 17 years. I packed all the 17 budgets that have been presented here. Mr. Speaker, the 2026 budget is the best among all. Mr. Speaker, what me and you, including 98 members of my brothers on the other side, were searching for has been found within not 87. They themselves passed a vote of no confidence on their own budget and their finance minister in the last previous administration. Mr. Speaker, not knowing there was somebody among us who could do it. Mr. Speaker, I've been here for 17 years. Ministers of finance who have occupied that office after their tenure, they remain in this country. Where is our former finance minister? Where is he? Where is he? Where is our former finance minister? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, at least, Mr. Speaker, I was here. Where is our former finance minister? Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this because not as a trivial matter. He occupied the high office of the Minister of Finance. He presented budget to us. Mr. Speaker, when I came here, the first finance minister was Kobna Dufo. After his tenure, he remained here. After that, Setekwe, after his tenure, he remained here. He was even giving an IMF assignment. He still went and came back. Mr. Speaker, I saw Honorable Bauredu after his tenure, he remained here. Mr. Speaker, I saw Honorable Osafumafu after his tenure, he remained here. Mr. Speaker, where is your former finance minister? Mr. Speaker, that is just one. That is just one. Mr. Speaker, put that one as in February, and that is asking me that I have said that. Mr. Speaker, I haven't said that. Mr. Speaker, with respect
Mr. Speaker, with respect, the Honorable former Finance Minister was out of jurisdiction, and an inquiry was made. And right at the dispatch box, I produced a letter from his lawyers to the effect that he was seeking medical treatment out of the country. Mr. Speaker, again, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, again, Mr. Speaker, again, there was a further letter from him. Mr. Speaker, there was a second letter from him to the OSP. Mr. Speaker, that was the matter between him and the OSP, where he again indicated in a letter from his doctors that he was receiving medical treatment, he was undergoing surgery, and that his stay in the United States has been extended to ensure full recovery. Mr. Speaker, it would be unfair, therefore, for Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim to attempt to say that the man has refused to come to Ghana. Two, no, Mr. Speaker, these are medical issues and it's a matter of public record. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues would have to be very fair to Honorable Kedoforiata. Any of us can go through that situation. He has made available to all of us in this country his medical record, Mr. Speaker. He published them. He attached it. His lawyers attached his medical records and the letter from his lawyers, his doctors, and made it available to the public. It is not a secret, and you and I know. So let us be fair. It can be you tomorrow. It can be you tomorrow. So, Mr. Speaker, let us not use our debate to impugn improper motive. There is a public record that states clearly why Ken Ofori-Atta is not in Ghana. He stated why he's not in Ghana. Let's be fair.
Apart from the disrespect to the nominee, it even went further to affect another justice, the most senior justice of the day, Justice Puamang, who was the chairman of the committee that recommended that the Chief Justice be removed. To some extent, I would blame Justice Puamang, because as I have said, I think I've said here or somewhere, that his own report is the problem. The minority leader was one of the reasons why I petitioned, or my client petitioned for the removal of the Chief Justice. There was a huge count which mentioned his name and mentioned the acts that formed the basis of our petition. What was this count? We said he had set a precedent, in fact, a record in the court by being the only party or being the only person who within 2 hours was able to get a full panel of the Supreme Court presided over by the erstwhile Chief Justice to give him orders that by the scope of the application before the court, no court in the world in the common law jurisdiction will give him. Now, in the course of all of those proceedings and after, people who knew the two of them spoke to me and they said, don't you understand? That is his sister. The removed Chief Justice is his sister. When
sister in terms of
Ghana, really? They come from the same place.
Okay.
1, 2. When her father died, the minority leader hosted her visitors, and people who were there called me. So in some of if I had attended the next proceedings, the next person against whom I was going to raise that objection was the Chief Justice. I said, you know, all of these arguments we are having back and forth, and you are literally descending into the arena of conflict, is because somebody that you are close to is the plaintiff in this particular matter. Who was the plaintiff? It is Afenyo Makin. 2, there is now information coming out that there are services being rendered in the judicial service which are linked to Afenyo-Markin. He's rendering those services and getting commercial profits from them, and huge ones. And so at this point in time, when Afenyo-Markin is making it look like, okay, there's a national public interest aspect of all of this nomination process, and there's some dispute and all of that, it has nothing to do with a minority position. He sold it out to his colleagues to believe that, well, we all have to take a collective position against this, but it is a personal interest. And so the facts that we have show that you have an interest in her being there. And so he's crying louder than every other person because he has an interest in the woman being there. I think they should look at this whole idea of prior approval, that the Constitution didn't say vetting. It said prior approval of Parliament. There ought to be another of when they look at your CV and they've done your background checks. If they are calling you for any vetting, then there are specific areas they want you to clarify. Otherwise, Parliament should do an acclamation and you go. And then if you go and you can't deliver, your appointer is there, he will sack you. Yeah. But they keep all of us glued to television. And we are sitting down there and watching a process that 95% of is a joke. If the AG says he wants a docket now, and you can have an excuse, and the AG is getting jittery, you can understand. But you have even told Ghanaians that way back, you tried to stop the man because you had reasons to stop him. 1 year into a regime, you are still investigating. So what is the basis for seeking to stop him previously? And the Constitution is very clear. Some people even still think that his position is untenable in view of the Constitution.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Good morning, good morning. Today is the 27th of November 2025. Let me say good morning to you once again and welcome you to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro, and it's always a pleasure to come your way. We want to say big thanks to the Almighty God for giving us that rare privilege of returning here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. I'll go straight ahead and look at the front pages of the newspapers that we have today. And today we have, as always, I'll start with my favorite daily graphic. And the daily graphic has some very interesting, headlines. It says that interest rates to go down. Interest rates to go down. BOG cuts policy rate to 18%. Brings back 14-day Treasury bill. That's on today's daily graphic. And it says China ready to support Ghana's development agenda, Ambassador Tong. And as Parliament repeals the COVID-19 Recovery Act, First Bank Group CEO confers with President Mahama, reaffirms commitment to Ghana's economic transformation. I go now, I'll take next the Ghanaian Times. The Ghanaian Times has the picture of the Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, and it says, get funds to allocate 65 million cedis as a lifeline for 9,000 special needs students, according to the minister. Ghana's ambassador designate to Burkina Faso, Kenneth Akibate, a public servant par excellence. There's an interesting article on him. There's Korea PM confers Diplomatic Service Medal on Dr. Akorea for meritorious service. Congratulations, Doc. Congrats. But I'm not surprised at all. He's a fantastic and a competent gentleman. As Parliament scraps COVID-19 levy, CRI urges national policy to protect religious rights of students. That's on the front page of today's Ghanaian Times. The Daily Guide is reporting that Jospon and others dragged to court for contempt. There's a RNAQ Foundation Food Banks open in Kumasi. Court order sparks clash over Bandai seat. There's after staff blows 221,000 cedis on sports betting. Afro-Arab partners, Chinese investors, and that's on the front page of today's Daily Guide. And finally, and the last but not the least, definitely, I'm talking about the Insight newspaper. It says, enforce strict visa travel oversight. Julius Deborah tells Ministerial Committee ahead of 2026 World Cup. 2026 MPP flag bearer race. Atachia jabs Kenny, shadow boxing punch. Coup in Guinea-Bissau, President Umara Embalo arrested after disputed elections, and Mahama said to grant free education to special needs learners, Haruna Idrisu reveals, and the small-scale miners threatening to halt operations with Sankofa Gold Mine over recognition, job security concerns. Jocelyn Doche Amechi leads new wave of hospitality excellence in Ghana, and the Standard Water hailed for its uniqueness in serving public. That's front page of today's Insight newspaper. All right, so we're done with the newspaper banner headlines, and stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My guest already here, just to give you, an idea of the gentleman who will be joining us for a conversation today. So check this one out. Yeah, here we go. That's a David T.D. Von D. His MP for Trifo Atimokwa, representing the NDC, and then there's Kofi Ofosu-Nkansah, who's a former Chief Executive Officer of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan, that's the NEIP. At some point, he was also the head of the Ghana Digital Center Limited. He's a big man. All right, so these are the gentlemen who will be slugging it out today, not in a boxing, arena, but in an intellectual arena. But here's the key issue. So the Police Council has extended the IGP's contract. There's also Mpox cases rise to 880. That's a major health concern. There's irrigation pumps seized from illegal mining to be redeployed. There's 4 shocking child abuse cases in the past week. There's FDA seizes 98 unregistered herbal medicines. The Springtide was 2-day state visits. All right. So here are the issues. All right. So stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. Please don't go anywhere.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Various flavors. Ubenya eyako, ubenya nemchie, yeduku jollof muma emu yede, ubenya yeduku nkwemu, yeduku froyemu. Ho, nako pebito, na ema weduane, enyede. Unyeminia, yenkonko tie nyankofo eka.
Download your communication talk. We all enjoy Oduba. That's Samu Spices. One in the HCL, no time. Samu Spices in a Sabi, Daddy so say. Samu Spices, Moon Samu.
Samu Spices, Nyama Chicken.
Samu Spices,
In Sanaka in Kitswa, measure 10 grams. Yawa chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, and jollof, and the flavors Alpha Bebre.
Samu Spices, yes, Saka.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspections, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel-Kit.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel-Kit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel-Kit. Happy smile.
Oh, Jose, and I made the Canny Pano, Nasana, Michiana, what me. A drain I didn't quano, Kingdom Garlic Bitters. No, more benefiting. Me benefiting wine. Also, got told dear. Abrewa, the smile, our brand, Michuve. One antique crown our bread. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and any capsules. Nanya, what dear baby are.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and the capsules.
Assembly and you. A devil who am I when I say.
Send your name, wife, company one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules, and tea. Say, see, I'm password.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Emeni chienya sumdie befi abrebia. Obebia o de pua haw no. Edro bakupa wihiane tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules. Esiesie wo ma wo ye obesima. Enro yi wo benya bi wo bebia yeton nro bia. Kingdom Herbal, no challenger.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension, just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa, dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Go be from to be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're lucky. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame.
Senya God up boom. If you put it away, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, Mommy, a simple dilation. Mr. Good Luck no check me way.
Yeah,
man.
Easy car. Or dial star 712 hash.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
I'm his birthday.
Oh, how romantic.
And he followed the prompt, yes. And then boom, confirmation test.
One quick, pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like 7.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, do you have family payment? Before December, may release a motivational album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
The biggest gathering of our prestigious Ghana Energy Awards is happening live. Date Friday, 28th November. Venue Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. Time is 6 p.m. prompt. Theme: repositioning the energy sector as a pillar of national development. Special guest of honor: Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Jinabo, the Minister of Energy and Green Transition. For tickets and sponsorship, call 0303 940 300. Industry partners: Volta River Authority, JK Hoglet Transport and Company, We Power Authority, Petrosol Platinum Energy, Minergy Technology, Ghana Gas, Post Energies, Gridco, Comac, GNPC, Sunona Sogli Power, NPA, PURC, BCG, Energy Commission, COPEC, Media Partners, Metro TV, Graphic News Plus, Ghana Energy Awards, redefining excellence.
Worries me so much is the latest press release, the joint press release by the Christian Council of Ghana and the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference. Because these are two very big Christian organizations.
Right.
And for them to have just given their endorsement meant that there's a certain solidarity of the Christian community against the Muslim community in Ghana.
Well,
and for me,
we'll get that press statement to read it out.
For me, that is very dangerous. It has made nonsense of all this long period of claim that Muslims and Christians here in Ghana are tolerant of each other. I think it has been just the facade.
Do you think it's been a facade?
I think, in my view, but I have become convinced that we have not been honest with ourselves in the claim that we are really our cooperation with the community. I'm saying from the mind.
On this occasion, I'm just hoping that, Sheikh, you are wrong on this. On this occasion, I'm just hoping. I don't want to believe that it has been a facade.
It's a facade because, look, for the Christian community not to even show a little consideration a little consideration.
And you mean by the representations?
Even in the presentation, no reference was made to the plea of the National Chief Imam, who has entered into the church on 2 occasions, entered into the church to change a certain perception. You see, what I'm getting the impression is the faster we are trying to de-radicalize the Muslim youth, the greater the Christian community is becoming extremist in the way they are dealing with this matter. That's my impression.
You're still watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moreau, and my guests are seated. I already gave you a sense of the gentlemen who are going to be debating the issues or having a conversation about the issues for the day, and they are actually seated now. Bright, please put up their pictures again before I introduce them. Yes, here we go. So that's the man, Mr. David T.D. Von D. He's MP for Twifo Etimokwa. Etimokwa. I hope I got the pronunciation correctly.
You got it correctly.
Etimokwa. Yes, representing the NDC, and also Kofi Ofosu Nkansa. He's the former Chief Executive Officer of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan. A very, very good friend of mine. He's been very helpful. He's helped me before.
Is it a new
when people do you good, you have to confess and say it publicly, not only privately. But I know Kofi doesn't like it when you publicly thank him for what he does. He says he always does it for God and country. You know, if you're looking for a politician who doesn't really care about public perception, about where you belong or where you don't belong, for him it's about Ghana. Yes, that's the man, Kofi Ofosu Nkansa.
Thank you, Moro.
Yes, he says he's occupying a public office, and the public is for everybody. So when you call him, you want help, he will always be there. If he can't, he'll tell you he can't. That's how honest he is. The only challenge is that he says sometimes, you know, human beings can make us have a rethink.
10% casualties allowed.
You know, so that's the man, Kofi Ofosu Nkansa. Bro, good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to your viewers.
Yeah.
And good to be back on Metro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you have been here before?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
And other Metro programs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think I'm on Kwesi Ifriye's Bottom Line.
Kwesi Ifriye's, and then.
I think used to do regular engagements with them on happenings with them.
Yeah. When I was in office.
Was it NEIP or Ghana Digital Center?
I think NEIP mostly.
NEIP mostly. Okay. Because
now we're in opposition, so they don't call it.
You know, Kofi and I were having a conversation about life after public office, and he was telling me some very, very interesting things, but some of which we'll raise, you know, as a curtain raiser before we move to the more substantive issues for the day. But as for David Von D, he's a first-timer. And not a first time to the Ignite Media Group, because often once in a while he would show up on Original TV and on Original FM. He loves the media. But he today has decided to, he's been deployed to Metro TV, and that's an entirely different platform. And so we can only wish him well. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning to you, and
yes.
Good morning to your cherished viewers. And yes, this is the first time I think I'm coming to the Metro TV. I've been a lover of Metro TV for so many years now.
Okay.
Remember the days of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Nana Komia those days on Fridays.
Yeah.
The then Honorable John Mahama, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that his popularity, you know, largely was marketed by Metro TV.
True.
And unfortunately, our friends in the other side couldn't market their Nana Komia the way, you know, we did. So, I mean, I've been a lover of Metro TV. Randy, you know, somebody I admire a lot, just like yourself, you know.
Thank you.
So, good morning to everybody watching me from Twifo Etimokwa. The DC, Isaac Yosin, and my very good friend, Kang Cook, and everybody. This is the first time NDC is winning Timokwa? No, Twifo Etimokwa is our seat. Are you sure? We lost it 2016. Oh, I see. That was the only time we lost it.
Okay.
So I came in. Oh, so you have rather won more than MPP? Yeah. I came in 2020 and won it again. and maintain it. And I think it can do.
So this is your second term?
Yes, this is my second term in Parliament. So
Okay.
greeting to everybody, Madam Confidence.
So Atimokwa is an NDC stronghold.
No, I mean, it's largely. But you know the 2016, the tsunami that took everybody away.
Yeah, okay. It
Actually
affected
just like 2024 one.
So, but largely for Atimokwa is an NDC stronghold, and we intend, holding it now, not to let go of it again. So good morning to everybody, and my very good friend, and I like the way you are describing him as a nationalist.
Oh yeah, he's a nationalist.
And that's one of the things that I wish we can continue to.
But you know what? That in itself has created some problems for him.
Yeah, it will. The
moment they say he's too nice.
No. You see, the point is that, and I think that's the kind of character some of us would like to exhibit. And you shouldn't be too worried about it. We cannot be too partisan and to say what is not even true to be the truth.
Yeah.
I believe in telling the story the way it is. It doesn't matter whether it affects, largely you want to be an NDC, you want to be an MPP, I agree. But you see, when the issues are truth, it must be truth. If it is not, it must not be truth. And that's the only way we can build the fabrics of this country in honesty and on truth. Otherwise, our children would suffer. Yeah. So for me, I agree and would want to applaud him if and only he's a true nationalist. If he is not covering, because I heard him saying that 10%,
Moro,
10% error.
Moro, you know the interesting part? The interesting part is that my colleagues in the social media space don't see me that way because of how I debate and argue at issues there. But when it comes to serving the nation as a CEO, providing support for the youth, people reaching out for help one way or the other. I don't ask for party cars before extending support to people. So it is people like you who have experienced me or who know me. If you go to my constituency, there are similar testimonies about me. Right. When we were empowering people were coming to us for school placement support and other government interventions, I don't even ask where you vote or where you voted. But when it comes to arguing out on our philosophy, on our policies, the center-right ideas and what I believe in vis-a-vis the NDC leftist ideas and their socialist views and achievements in social intervention and the infrastructure debates and those things. I stick strictly to what we've done because I believe that is superior. Right. And that is what people sometimes confuse with, being a nationalist when it comes to serving the nation as a CEO. Because when you're in the seat, as a government appointee, you are serving the whole nation and not just your party people. So you should be someone who wouldn't, use party cars as a basis to extend support because you are using government resources anyway, most of the time. We are in a developing country and our systems are not strong and robust enough. Out there in the developed world, when you are in need of employment, what do? You go through the agencies and you are placed. Can you do the same in Ghana? No. Here you need, your social system is your MP. Your social system is your chief, is your assemblyman, is your politician, So if you don't leverage whatever power you are given to serve the people and bring opportunities to them, it means you are denying a whole lot of people. And that is why anytime there's change of government, there's pressure on the ruling government. Because that is where the jobs come from, that is where the school fees come from, that is where the scholarships come from. And our system has also become winner takes all because you don't even have enough to serve those in your party. Look at the promises our brothers in NDC made. The last 8 years, there are people who were stabbed in court. So now all of them are expecting to get jobs, to get all the opportunities they were expecting. Unfortunately, we are still a developing economy, a lower middle income economy, an economy which doesn't provide enough jobs for the people. They are 24-hour economy. When are they going to lay the building blocks to get the frameworks standings, which will be able to provide the 3 chief jobs that they promised? It will take time. Until then, pressure on them. And they have to improvise and make sure they manage their expectations, they engage them, the promises they made to the chiefs, infrastructure, the roads, and all that. So I don't envy them at all, especially their MPs, because of the huge numbers. You know, the first disadvantage they have is that they don't have enough appointments. You don't get enough appointments for them. And invariably, that affects their interventions in their constituencies. Somebody who is roads minister can easily serve their constituency better than an MP who is on, let's say, Ghana Refugees Board or MVTI Board. You understand? This is a reality.
I know.
So I don't envy them at all. I don't know what innovation they are going, and which is why some of them are likely to lose their seats, even in 4 years' time. Because if you are not lucky and you went for a seat which was held by a government appointee, and he raised the bar, and your party is in power now, and because you are, you know, incapacitated one way or the other because you were not given a big position which you leverage to serve the people, how are you going to provide those opportunities to them? You know, so it's a big issue. It's a very big issue.
How are people like you coping? I mean, I did a little background check on you at Bondi, and I noticed that you belong to 3 committees. Yes. That's Lands and Natural Resources, Information and Communications, and also the Backbenchers Business, where you're deputy ranking member. I mean, how do you cope? I mean, you're not a deputy minister, you're not a board chair, you're just committee members, and you have to make your constituency or your constituents happy. I mean, how do you manage this?
I mean, first of all, I put myself up to be elected as a member of parliament. And as a member of parliament, that is what your legitimate, you know, responsibilities. Other things that may come with it are fine. I mean, they're good. If you catch the eye of the president to be appointed a minister, a deputy minister, you know, a board chair and all that is good. I mean, it enhances your chances of, if you like, maybe exposes you to other opportunities that would, you know, help you in delivering some expectations to your constituencies. I mean, and that is true, you know, there's no two ways about that. However, I think that the administration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is trying everything possible to ensure that whether you're a minister, whether you're a DC, you know, a board chair, whether you are not a board chair, whether you are the deputy minister, he's trying all he can to distribute opportunities equally to every individual. You know, so the difference between being a minister, a deputy minister, a board chair, and me as an ordinary, if you like, member of parliament, is not really, you know, much. Again, our colleagues who've been able to catch the eye of His Excellency Mahama, they are not greedy. I mean, I want to applaud them, somebody like Haruna Idrusu and Agboja, you know, all of them, you know, Atu Forsen, my brother, you know, gender minister, transport minister, all of them, I mean, all of them, they are, you know, energy minister, John, they're all very generous people. And not to only the NDC members of parliament, but to everybody. So for me, distribution of, if you like, opportunities are equal and it goes through everybody. I remember...
But you, the constituent, a member of your constituency, who knows, okay, or who is aware that your party is in government, and so naturally has a certain sense of entitlement, have high expectations.
Yes, I agree with you 100%.
And will approach you for all manner of demands.
My brother, I agree with you 100%.
How do you deal with that?
The expectation are in various categories.
Yes.
One is the fact that your government is on power.
Yes.
And so you should be able to solve all problems. That is number one. Again, it actually even increases when you are an appointee of the president. So when the expectation as a member of parliament whose government is on power alone It's about the fact that you should be able to fix all the roads. You should be able to pay all the school fees. You should be able to pay all the hospital bills. You should be able to pay all the, other things and that comes with it. That expectation, if you like, increases when you are an appointee. And I tell you what, some of my friends who are deputy ministers, and they cry a lot because, you see, the expectations and the things they get, the opportunities that comes to them are not, they are not able to meet the expectations.
Okay, so
me as a member of parliament, I can run away and say, okay, I'm not an appointee.
Oh, so you're saying that
so
there are some appointments that actually end up becoming what you call becoming a disadvantage.
Because you want to use because you want to choose your words properly and well.
Yes. No, you're not saying you're not messing anybody's position.
No, I'm saying
some
that
appointments.
And I'm saying that because you don't want to say that some appointments are more of a very serious challenge than if you do not have it at all.
Okay.
That is not to say that if Vondi is called to serve in any capacity, he will not. I am saying that the expectation generally, and it's happening in the NDC and in the MPP, that our people believe that once you are appointed a deputy minister, you are appointed a minister, you should be able to solve every problem in this world, especially for them. You are in opposition, of course, when we're in opposition, the constituent walk to you and ask you something, you tell the person, no, we are in opposition. In any case, what you're doing is that you are preparing the person's mind that if you were in government, then you were going to do A, B, C, D.
Yeah, but that's what
now you are in government.
Yeah, but that's what you tell me.
So I'm saying that some of our own pronouncements creates that perception that once you are in government, you should solve all problems. And it's a problem of Ghanaian politicians, African politicians, that we all have to deal with. But again, fact that you're a deputy minister, you're a minister board chair, does not mean you have too much advantage over somebody who is only a member of parliament. Again, yes, I agree that those opportunities, those positions may open some further opportunities for you to serve your people. But it is not in itself too much of an opportunity to rely on. I tell you, so many cabinet ministers do lose their seats because of expectations that were not met. The primaries they lose. I mean, the MPP, a lot of them, it happened in the NDC because of the expectations that we ourselves plant in our constituents. And that's some of the things that some people go to elections and they will promise that I am ABCD, I am close to the flag bearer. When he win the election, it's going to make me a minister. You go promising your people, even before the elections, they will share job opportunities. Then you come to power. And then His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says, I'm going to work with only 60 ministers. Then I mean, so it's a challenge that we're all going through. And I believe that we've got to deal with it because it's not the best of things.
I'm also aware that you are a non-executive board member of SIC.
Yes, of SIC. I mean, it's a company that was totally run down by our predecessors. And, I sit on the board. I know what it is. So it is not, it's not anything that...
It's not a big deal. I think it's not a big deal.
I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, so...
Anyway, congratulations.
But a point is that we will serve our people in all honesty and in all humility. I mean, we'll serve our people, and they will benefit from us. Of course, that's not too. There's no two ways about that.
We also have to serve our advertisers. We have to serve them.
So you go for advertising.
Thank you.
I agree with you.
So you're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Start your kids' day the right way, filled with confidence to take on any challenge. Pepsodent Kids contains the right amount of fluoride and sugar acid protection to care for their developing gums and teeth. Grab either orange or strawberry so they brush with the sweet flavor they love morning and evening. Pepsodent Kids, giving your children a bright smile for a brighter future.
Ebusiafo ye mama kwaba eba Children's Palace. Nkwala nyema nyina fie enye. Yonkwala ntade mani mema nyina ntare nyina wase. Yonkwala shoes, yonkwala duane, yonkwala wipes, yonkwala diapers, yonkwala toys, baby coat. In fact, bibia opama omanyina obenye biwa ase.
Located at East Legon Hills, Nana Krum KFC. Contact us on 059 6377 172. Children's Palace. Happy children, happy fashion. See you soon. Bye bye.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking Publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson.
Me didn't tum Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the accent. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Friendly sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Tum preko.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Samacha Sapapadia to a mammy manful. Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is silver bine, a man is swing, and a sasso mamma hotel so a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
In a world where everything is connected, your business's security is only as strong as its weakest link. The growing threat of cybercrime has become an unescapable reality. In 2025 alone, the projected cost of cybercrime is expected to grow to $10 trillion globally, with small-medium businesses disproportionately targeted. Cyber threats have become increasingly sophisticated, widespread, and invisible, placing unequipped organizations at risk of massive damages in a matter of seconds. Meet Virtual InfoSec Africa, Ghana's Tier 1 certified managed security service provider. We don't just monitor threats, we predict, prevent, and respond 24/7. At Virtual InfoSec Africa, we deliver bold and cost-effective cybersecurity solutions tailored to your organization's size and complexity. Whether you're a startup or a national institution, our services scale with your needs. We offer 24/7 SOC monitoring, early warning threat intelligence, managed detection and response, digital forensics and incident response, and predictive analysis and threat hunting. From endpoint protection to dark web forensics, we secure every layer of your digital ecosystem. Why wait for a breach to act? Join the ranks of high institutions who trust Virtual InfoSec Africa to secure their future. Start your 3-month free trial of our early warning threat intelligence platform today. For more inquiries, contact 055-689-2086 or visit our website at www.virtualinfosecafrica.com.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame? As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
You go be the luckiest. Copy from Georgia be luckiest. From not the block, she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God up boom. If you put it so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Hey. Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, Mommy, simple direction. Mr. Goodluck no check me well.
Yeah, man. Easy car. Or dial *712#.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
I'm his baby.
Oh, how romantic!
And he followed the prompt. Yes, and then boom, confirmation test.
One quick, pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like 7.
Dial *712#. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, be your family Pemasimo. Before December, may release a motivational album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
The biggest cultural explosion of the year is here. The Afro-Brazil Ghana Festival 2025. December 12th and 13th at the Gold Coast Bar and Grill. It's coming alive with 2 unforgettable days of culture, food, fashion, and music. Enjoy electrifying performances from Fancy Gadam, Adam, Go Get 'Em Episode, Wiala, Amanziba, Big Twins African Music, and Dance Ensemble. Lead Cruise. This historic festival is organized by Big Twins African Music and Dance Ensemble in collaboration with the Embassy of the Federated Republic of Brazil in Accra. Supported by Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Ghana Tourism Authority. Vendors, showcase your products and services to the world. Visit Afro-Brazil.
You're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. This show is also live on 94.1 FM on your radio dial, so please tell a friend that you can monitor keenly and enjoy the conversation on 94.1 FM on your radio dial. I have Honorable David Theophilus Dominic Von D, who is a MP for your constituency. It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. It's Amokwa, right? Trifu.
Eti Mokwa.
Okay. Trifu. Eti Mokwa.
Yes.
Okay. What is really what can you tell us about your constituency? Just briefly.
Well, my constituency is predominantly a rural settlement. Okay. You know, and there are diverse people, you know, from different backgrounds. You know, we have Ewes, largely proudly, I am one, by the greatest grace of God, and Ewe born Ewe, you know, bred at Ewe. No, there are Fantis, there are before the
that's the Google map to your constituency.
Yeah,
yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
You guys are doing really well. Yeah.
We're looking for you there. So.
You are looking for me, right? You'll find me at Bimpong.
Zoom into his house.
You'll find me at Bimpong, Eja. You know, it's a suburb.
Yeah.
You know, one of the very modest villages.
Okay.
You know, there. And so we have Fantis, we have, you know, Notness, we have Ewes. We're kind of a little large there. And before the indigents themselves, the Trifu people, and there are two paramounts. We have the Trifu traditional, you know, council, and we have the Eti Mokwa traditional council. By the greatest grace of God, both chiefs are very good, you know, fathers of mine, and they love development, and so they will always go for development. They are politically colorless.
Okay.
Both of them, I mean, and you know, people may attribute so many other, you know, opinion about them, about belonging to one political party or not, but personally, I feel that they are political colorless, and all they want is development, and I think that's good, and I applaud them for it. You know, so that's true for Eti Mokwa. There are some few, you know, mining challenges that we're dealing with. By God's grace, we've been able to surmount it to a large extent. You know, farming, predominantly, you know, rural area, therefore farming, cocoa farming. That's why we have the Trifu Air Palm Plantation as well.
Okay.
You know, we have Trifu Secondary School, I mean, and we have Mokwa Secondary School.
Okay.
And we have nursing and midwifery training institution there. It's a very beautiful place. Okay. We're trying to, you know, lift the infrastructure of the place, the road networks we're trying to do, training people in work, entrepreneurship, and all that. This in Kukon Kitinkiti, we're trying to be one of the main hub of it. And so it's a very nice place. I invite all of you to, you know, visit Trifu Eti Mokwa. You know, it's a very beautiful place. Yeah. I love the youths because they're very intelligent, very nice, hardworking people. And the very new DC we have now, Isaac Yorson, is doing so well, trying to make sure that the town is clean, and everybody benefiting from little. Well, I just cut some salt to build some school buildings for Abuso, trying to get some cheap compounds, and you know, for in various places, water projects, you know, road reshaping of roads, creating assets in the constituency, you know. I mean, taking care of those that we have to take care of, trying to help people to get jobs, you know, which of course we are not.
Right.
You know, so for me, we're trying all we can and to serve everybody, but in so much respect to the people and God-fearing and humility. So Trifu Eti Mokwa is a good place.
Okay.
Very beautiful place, trust me.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that one of these days we'll take a trip.
I'll be fine. I'll host you so well.
Your constituency.
I have Madam Confidence there. Madam Confidence will host you so well.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I'll be coming there with Kofi.
Yes, Chairman Haki. You know, my constituency chairman double as the Council of State for Central Region.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chairman Hakim Ade, a very nice person.
That's interesting.
You know, Chairman Hakim Ade, very nice
interesting.
person.
That's interesting.
Coleman, our communication officer, very nice guy.
Okay.
You know, these are very good people helping to actually build a constituency.
Right.
To become a constituency we want. Resetting all the other agenda and making sure it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
All right. So, gentlemen, let's look at this matter which has generated, a fair bit of controversy.
Right.
And it has to do with matters bothering the education front.
Right.
And it's about religious diversity, religious tolerance. Now, there's a case, in fact, it's put, for some people, it's a bit of a dilemma. For some people, it's a straightforward issue. But we also do know that there's an aspect of it which is currently in court. And so, as the lawyers say, we wouldn't want to, sound sub judice on the matter. And so, the real issues that have been litigated in court, we will not go there, but we can talk about the issue itself,
Yeah.
And the matter which has to do with the struggles that our brothers and sisters who are in, or our younger brothers and sisters who are in Wesley Girls Senior High School. For now, it looks like an isolated case because we haven't heard any other school complain about same. But for now, it's about Wesley Girls High School and the issues and the challenges that the students there, the Muslim students, are facing for wanting to practice their religion.
Yeah.
Which is basically allow me to pray, and allow me to fast, and allow me to dress the Muslim way, and so on. But Wesley Girls also has concerns. They're saying that this is a school which was built on some values, and that those values are Christian values. And so if you want to bring your child to us, you must understand that these are values that will be inculcated in that child. So if you don't want to come to us, if you don't want those values to be passed on to your children or to be taught to your children, don't bring your children to us.
Yeah.
Now, a worst case scenario for Wesley Girls is that even if, and as the Catholic Bishops' Conference's statement said, even if you will still want to bring your children there, then you must be, they may allow you to practice your religion, but you may have to conform to their religion as well. You have to do what the school says you should do. One of it is that you cannot be allowed to dress in line with your religious, they call it dictate and so on. And we've heard the Education Minister has expressed his opinion on the matter. What is not still clear is what the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice's position on this matter is. Because when he came out, there were some who said the Attorney General, the current Attorney General and Minister of Justice, is yet to express opinion on the matter because he is the one who is supposed to be defending Wesley Girls.
Yeah.
Because it's a state institution, or it's a state-sponsored institution. So they are the ones who are the defendants in this matter. Now, some also say that, yes, they've seen the opinion already, which has already been expressed by this current Attorney General. We're not too sure what it is. But we do know what the former Attorney General's position on the matter is, which is Godfrey Dame. Now, we've also heard some Islamic groups who have come out to issue a statement on the matter, condemning what Wesley Girls High School has been doing. I want us to watch these two tapes, first of all, before we kickstart our conversation on this matter. Let's watch these two tapes.
Mr. Speaker, let me be concluding that part of this budget, funding for all constitutional bodies, have been maintained and in some instances increased so that they can do their work. Mr. Speaker, let me also use this opportunity in debating the budget, since I speak as the present Minister for Education, that there is some ongoing debate on restrictions on Muslim students in Wesley Girls, which conflicts with international human rights standard and even standard expected of us in Ghana's constitution and Article 33(5) and 26(1) of the constitution. And then to assure our colleagues that we have a duty to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian child and to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian citizen. No right is divisible, and that we will not countenance any action by any person to deny any Ghanaian girl the opportunity to profess or practice any religion. Mr. Speaker, let me be concluding that part of this budget Funding for all constitutional bodies have been maintained and in some instances increased so that they can do their work. Mr. Speaker, let me also use this opportunity in debating the budget, since I speak as the present Minister for Education, that there is some ongoing debate on restrictions on Muslim students in Wesley Girls, which conflicts with international human rights standard and even standard expected of us in Ghana's constitution under Article 33(5) and 26(1) of the constitution. And then to assure our colleagues that we have a duty to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian child and to uphold the rights of every Ghanaian citizen. No right is divisible, and that we will not countenance any action by any person to deny any Ghanaian girl the opportunity to profess or practice any religion.
What worries me so much is the latest press release, the joint press release by the Christian Council of Ghana and the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference. Because these are two very big Christian organizations.
Right.
And for them to have just given their endorsement meant that there's a certain solidarity of the Christian community against the Muslim community in Ghana. And for me,
we'll get that press statement to read it out.
For me, that is very dangerous. It has made nonsense of all this long period of claim that Muslims and Christians here in Ghana are tolerant of each other. I think it has been just the facade.
Do you think it's been a facade?
I think, in my view, but I have become convinced that we have not been honest with ourselves in the claim that we are really, our cooperation with the community, I'm saying from the mind.
On this occasion, I'm just hoping that, Sheikh, you are wrong on this. On this occasion, I'm just hoping, because I don't want to believe that it has been a facade.
It's been a facade because, look, for the Christian community not to even show a little consideration. A little consideration.
And you mean by the representations?
Even in the presentation, no reference was made to the plea of the National Chief Imam, who has entered into the church on 2 occasions, entered into the church to change a certain perception. You see, what I'm getting the impression is the faster we are trying to de-radicalize the Muslim youth, the greater the Christian community is becoming extremist in the way they are dealing with this matter. That's my impression.
Right. Now, the latest group to wade into this whole controversy is the Child Rights International. Now, Child Rights International has a stance or a position on this matter, and it's been captured in today's Ghanaian Times newspaper. Now, Child Rights International is urging the government to urgently develop a clear and binding public policy to regulate religious rights and identity in secondary schools across the country. In a statement issued on Wednesday, November 26, 2025, the organization stressed that every child's rights to education and freedom of religion must be fully protected, insisting that no school should have the authority to deny these fundamental rights under any circumstances. The call comes amid heightened public debate following the recent incident at Wesley Girls Senior High School and growing concerns over restrictions placed on students' religious expressions. CRI observes that many mission-based schools, including Wesley Girls, Holy Child, and St. Louis SHS, operate based on long-standing religious traditions, unlike state-established schools such as Ghana Senior High School, Tamale SHS, and Achimota School. The organization questioned the government's policy direction on the classification and regulation of these institutions, which remain government-assisted, but are not fully governed by the Ghana Education Service, which is GES. According to CRI, the absence of a uniform national framework has allowed schools to enforce rules that may conflict with children's rights. The fundamentals needed to ensure full protection of children's rights in secondary schools are not adequately established. The statement said, public policy remains unclear on which practices schools are permitted to maintain and whether the state has provided binding directives on matters of discipline, conduct, and religious expression. The CRI is arguing that once a school admits a child, it must respect the child's identity, including their religious beliefs, and ensure that their rights are not compromised due to institutional traditions. The organization is therefore calling on the government to assume full regulatory oversight of all schools that it supports establish national safeguarding standards and implement policies that guarantee uniform protection of students' rights across the country. And it says that, okay, so I guess that's, okay. Okay, so once a school, it says once a school admits a child, it acknowledges a child's identity, blah, 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 blah. And it says strengthening these policy foundations will help prevent recurring conflicts and promote educational environments where all children can learn, develop, and express their identity without discrimination. CRI remains committed to supporting measures that advance the protection of full enjoyment of children's rights in every school across the country. So that's the CRI's, that's the Child Rights International's take on the ongoing controversy about what's happening in about religious diversity and the issues that are happening at Wesley Girls. Now, I want us to quickly read what Eric Edem Agbana has said, who's the MP for K2 North, to sort of situate the conversation in this right perspective. Now, this is what Eric says. Mauli School was established by the EP Church and remains a mission school. But during my time there, the kitchen prepared food for Muslim students at dawn and reserved their supper during Ramadan. They were allowed to pray freely without any hindrance. That's Eric Edem Agbana. And I'm sure a lot of people who attended senior high schools, senior high, can relate to what Eric Edem Agbana is saying. Question is, why is the Wesley Girls High School insisting that when your child comes to our school, that child is stopped or that child loses that right to practice their religion as they deem fit? That is what we don't really understand, because it is not the only school which is a faith-based established by a faith-based organization. So what is that makes them different? So that's, we'll try to establish all of that. But if you put all of this in perspective for us, I mean, I'm sure you've been following the conversation. What do you think?
Yeah, so basically we have the fully funded government schools.
Okay.
And then the mission schools, which are also supported by the missions. Because don't forget, when it comes to infrastructure development, the Methodist, the Presbyterian, the Ahmadi, they still provide some facilities to support the schools. And in my church, for instance, which is a Methodist church, sometimes they even do fundraising to do certain interventions for the schools. So they still have a stake, even though we have deviated a bit from the traditional mission schools where the schools were fully funded by the mission schools and every school were in their own mission uniforms and all that. Now all the schools are government subvented, more or less. So they are more or less government schools. But the mission component can still be taken away from it because they still have a stake. And I think we cannot underestimate that. I think that has resulted in the long years of successes that the schools have chalked, the discipline. I remember when I was choosing my school in 1996 after my BEC, I was choosing a non-mission school. But my school proprietors intervened and told my dad that no, some of our seniors had attended this particular school and had ended up wayward, even though they were academically good. So he would advise that I go to Opoku School in Kumasi, which is a Catholic school. People don't usually know because it has the name of an Asantekin, but it was actually set up by the Roman Catholics. And that is how I ended up in Opoku School, because it was recommended to my dad by my school proprietors because of their record and discipline. So this again goes to reinforce the role that the mission schools are playing. And if you look at the ranking of secondary schools in Ghana, Moro, if you take the top 20 best secondary schools in Ghana, 95% of them are mission schools. What are they doing right to make their schools perform that well when it comes to academic excellence and even the discipline? So we cannot take the mission factor out of the equation. So it is very, very important, which is why we should not just rush and say, because government is necessarily funding these schools, we should take out their doctrines and their moral standards and their policies and all that to make it a full government school, because we may, lower standards in these schools when it comes to the academic and disciplinary performance. But, Moro, that is not to say we should allow them to also deny the rights of students practicing their faith.
Right.
So I think we should take a middle ground position when it comes to this matter. What am I talking about? The schools should be allowed to observe their mission standard policies by way of services and gatherings.
Okay.
You know, so if you go to my school, Pokuwari School, there is a once in a month, you know, Sunday mass that we all observe, whether you are a Catholic or a non-Catholic. I'm a Methodist and I attended all the time. Our Muslim brothers were also there. Aside that, they allowed us to have our own denominational services. So all the non-Catholics went into the Protestant chapel on the 3 other Sundays of the month to have our service. You know, beyond that, we even had denominational meetings. So I think Thursdays and Wednesdays, we had PMSU. PMSU is the President Methodist Students Union, which I was a member. And then we also had GAMSU meetings, which is the Ghana Methodist Students Union. I was a member and even an executive then. And we were allowed to attend all of this. We had enough time slots available for us to attend this. There are statutory school observations that you cannot run away from. Prep time, dining time, time to sleep, and all those things. Every student will observe those ones. But in between, there are enough allowances to allow students to observe their faith. So if there's a Muslim student on Wesley Girls or WAS campus, and he wants to observe the 5 daily prayers of Muslims, right? And he's not using his class time, he's using his break time. Why would anybody prevent them? And that is not obstructing, you know, the school's rules or standards or the agreed on denominational service. Where I'll have a problem is, let's say if there's a compulsory denominational service for the Methodists once in a month that everybody is supposed to observe because you accepted to attend their school and you are using that very time slot for your own denominational service. That is where I will have a problem with. You know, and I think based on the MP's test that you projected, this practice that I'm talking about has happened in most of the mission schools we have in Ghana. That is why we have had this peaceful coexistence in all our high schools. You know, so I think my church people should calm down a bit, you know, and give some allowance to the non-Methodists. It may not be a big issue for the other Christians, because if you ask a Christian to come to a Methodist service, he may manage and come for it, all right, all the time. But after coming for the compulsory service of the Methodists, you should have given them time, you know, so that they can also go and, you know, worship their Maker, because we have the freedom of worship as enshrined in our constitution. Now, Umaru, I said Umaru, Moro, let me go to what our brother Shafiq is seeking.
Look, the production team is doing some research just before you go ahead. This is Achimota Secondary School. This is in 2021.
So this is a class in Achimota?
A class in Achimota, during Ramadan.
Wow.
Isn't this beautiful?
So there are this many Muslims in one class in Achimota? Oh, it was a class, they brought all Muslims together?
Yeah.
Because not everybody is wearing hijab.
Yeah, not everybody, yeah. Well, I mean, those are the ones that are not wearing the scarves and things.
Yeah.
Obviously are not Muslims. But anyway, just go ahead.
Yeah. So what is Shafiq Osman seeking? What beliefs is he seeking at the course? His first declaration is this: a declaration that Wesley Girls' policy prohibiting the belief, practice, and observance of Islam by Muslim students on campus is inconsistent and violates several provisions of the 1992 Constitution, including freedom of religion, equality, non-discrimination, and freedom of conscience. I agree with Osman on this belief. I think, as I've said already, the students should be allowed to practice their faith, but it shouldn't affect, you know, the observance of the statutory or the compulsory worship of the Methodist school. Once you agree to attend the Methodist school, you should agree and be aligned to attend all their compulsory services. So as far as the belief one is concerned, I go with Shafiq that the students should be allowed to practice their faith. What's the second one? That the policy forcing all students to participate in compulsory school religion, Christian Methodist worship at publicly funded government school, rather than allowing free religious practice or accommodation is unconstitutional. I disagree with this second relief. If this second relief is granted, what it will mean is that when you attend the Methodist school, when it's time for the compulsory worship, even if it's once a month, you are at liberty not to attend. You can decide what to do. That will bring a lot of confusion on the various campuses, and it will affect discipline and the organization of the religious, groups on various campuses. So I'm very, very happy our brother took this to court. It will be a landmark case which will decide on the way forward as far as the practice of religion on a second cycle institutions are concerned. We don't have issues on the tertiary education campuses because there we are full adults and we are not, regulated to attend morning assemblies and gatherings and church services and all that. So people are at liberty to even go to church or mosque or not. This is Shafiq's third belief, that the policy discriminates unlawfully against Muslim students, thereby violating their constitutional right to equality from discrimination on grounds of religion. I disagree with him on this too, because I think there should be a middle ground. And as far as you are a Ghanaian and you decide to attend a mission school, you should agree to be ready to observe the compulsory gatherings of the mission, whose school you have attended. So I've agreed with him on one and disagreed with him on two so far. That was the fourth one. A declaration that the restrictions imposed, that is the fasting, the prayers, wearing hijab and other Islamic rights, undermine the welfare of Muslim students in violation of constitutional protections, including child rights provisions under international human rights laws involved in the Constitution. I tend to agree with him on this because, as I said earlier in my submission, if the student has his own free time and his fasting will not affect the compulsory activities of the school calendar, it will not be in contravention of the school calendar, that I think they should be allowed. If I want to pray 5 times a day and it will not affect my attendance of the compulsory morning assembly where a Catholic prayer or a Methodist prayer or a Methodist hymn will be delivered, I think I should be allowed to do that. So here too, I agree with him. The last one is a permanent injunction. That is a court order restraining Wesley Girls High School and GAS and other relevant bodies from continuing to enforce the Empang policy, meaning the schools should no longer prohibit Muslim students from practicing their religion. So there too is not straightforward. As much as I agree that the students should be allowed to practice their religion, when their schedules do not affect the compulsory school schedule, it should not be a blank check for them, but that you're a Muslim and you're on Wesley Girls campus, so you can decide not to attend the morning assembly where the Methodist prayers and the Methodist hymns will be, sung or said. I think I look forward to the judgment by the Apex Court, which will chart a clear path for us to decide on the way forward. The Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council has also come out to say that there's freedom of choice. So if you are not ready to abide by the rules of the mission schools, attend your mission school. But I think that would be unfair. I had this debate with somebody on Facebook yesterday, because if somebody is a Rastafarian and you tell the person to attend a Rastafarian school, Mura, I'm not sure if there's a Rastafarian school in Ghana, and somebody may want to attend Wesley Girls School, and the person may be in Cape Coast and he may be an Adventist, but there may not be an Adventist high school in Cape Coast. You cannot say they should travel all the way to Kumasi where there's an Adventist high school. They are saying that they are doing these things to preserve discipline in the various schools. I agree with them, but I think we can have a balance. Just as we have coexisted peacefully, we have become a model for peaceful inter-religious coexistence in a sub-region, in Africa at large, and even the world. It is peaceful. Look at what the Nigerians are doing, abducting people from churches, killing them and all that. It has never happened in Ghana. When Professor Tefa was getting married, his best man was Dr. Bawumia, who is a Muslim. This is the kind of beautiful coexistence arrangement that we have in this country. And the Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council also said, accommodating all the various types of beliefs and religious practices on campus will create challenges on campus. I think let's adopt and adapt the models of other schools which have done it. We have the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, CHAS. Let's look for the best practices. Call Opoku High School headmaster, call St. Augustine's headmaster, call Wesley Girls headmaster. Let them go into a quorum and decide, brainstorm and decide what has worked best over the years. There are even former headmasters whose experience and wisdom we can tap in, so that we can all reach a middle ground as far as this issue is concerned. Now, after the judgment by the court, I would suggest that we draft a code, a comprehensive framework of religious practice on the various SHS campuses from it, which will then govern and regulate how we practice our faith on the various senior high school campuses, so that Headmaster A from school A, Headmaster B from school B won't just get up and say that today I'm not in a good mood, so everybody should stop practicing this faith or create a religious belief, or everybody should go this way or the other. I think when we do that, it will prevent reoccurrence of this acrimony and confusion on this religious matter on the various high schools.
You? Oh, thank you. And I wear two hearts going into this matter. First one is the fact that I'm a Christian. I belong to the Church of Pentecost, an elder of the Church of Pentecost, so proudly. And also a Ghanaian who also enjoys my fundamental human right as a Ghanaian who has been given the opportunity by the Constitution, the 1992 Constitution, to practice any religion of my choice. And so these are the two, positions that I discuss these matters. Number one, I think that we all should be careful discussing these matters because it is in court. It is in court, and we do not want to appear, to be prejudicial and maybe to incur the wrath of the court. And I think that because it's a public matter, it is important that we all share our views, how to deal with the matters and so forth and so on. My brothers and sisters, you see, when you come to Parliament, for example, an institution I belong, there are many Muslims and there are many Christians in Parliament of Ghana. We coexist so well. We live together, we agree together, we sometimes disagree on matters, not on religious background, but on matters of principles and ideology. I have said a million times that one of my best friends, brothers that I always can wake up in the morning, pick phone and call, and he will attend to my needs. And I so believe that he will do that genuinely from his heart, is Haruna Idrusu, the education minister. Haruna is a Muslim. Haruna is aware that I am a Christian, a Church of Pentecost elder. Now, if we are able to enjoy this coexistence at the highest level of our life in Ghana as members of Parliament, why are we planting discrimination and religious intolerance among our kids in the basic level of our education, secondary school? Why are we doing that? The Bible says in Matthew chapter 19, the verse number 14, that allow all children, and the word is all, A-L-L, all of them, to come to me, for the kingdom of God belongs to these, These. The Bible did not say that allow Muslims to come to me, or Christians to come to me, or Buddhists to come to me, or traditionalists to come to me. The Bible says, A-L-L, all children to come to me, for the kingdom of God belongs to these. These. I think that again, the Bible says in John chapter 4, the verse number 24, that God is a spirit. Those who worship him must worship God in truth and in spirit. The Bible did not say that those who worship God must worship him in discrimination of how to bow to praise God or not to praise God. The Bible did not say, unless your Bible is different from my Bible, did not say that worshiping God have any other form or any other style or any other acceptance than to worship him in truth and in spirit. If you are using the standard of the Bible to decide on these matters, I think that our Christian brothers and sisters in Wesley Girls should rather be the ones accommodating the Muslim children to come to them. Because if they want to live like Christ, who says all children must come to him, for these children are the owners of the kingdom of God, then my brothers and sisters in Wesley Girls and all the Christian secondary schools and all educational forms must rather be praying that all Muslim kids come to them, because the Christ we walk with, we emulate. The Christ that is our example. The practicing of Christianity is to be like Christ. It says that allow all to come to me. Wesley Girls must rather religiously be asking all children to come to them, not to discriminate, not to say these are Christians, these are Muslims. I think that one of the religion that goes on evangelism is Christian religion. They go into evangelism because the Bible instructs us to go ye all the world and propagate the gospel. That those who believe in Christ and accept Christ, we should baptize them and bring them to Christ. I think that the Wesley Girls, having that mandate to behave like Christ and to live like Christ, and to go evangelizing, looking for souls for Christ, must be happy for those souls that had come to them. They themselves have come to them. So sucking them religiously, I think it is not Christ-like. The Bible says that those who worship God must worship him in spirit and in truth. The character, display, and exhibition of individual Christians must rather be the way forward to attract even the Muslim kids that might have come to that school to say, this is a good practice. Why don't we rather join them? Then that is a pure demonstration of Christ-like. Do you know that even the word Christian was not given by Christians, those who follow Christ? It was given by people who do not and are not Christians. When Christ came on earth and performed and ascended back to the throne, those who followed Christ, the apostles and so forth and so on, their behavior looked like Christ. So those who were not Christians said, these people, their behavior looked like Christ. So we call them followers of Christ, Christians, Christ-like people. Let Wesley girls' behavior, their actions in the school, the love they demonstrate to the people, the character that look like Christ, be a preaching platform, an evangelistic platform to rather attract the Muslim children to go home and tell their parents that, hey, we've seen a very beautiful character that looks like God in these people. And therefore, we intend even becoming Christ. That way, you'll be winning souls for Christ. Then point number 2. I think that there is no constitutional reason for any institution having admitted a child to his or institution, in this case school, to prefer any form of religion for that child. And again, this must also go for our Muslim schools, Islamic schools. Can we also agree that Christians must be admitted to Islamic schools and should be allowed to practice their Christianity and pray the way they want? Because that is Ghanaian. That is who we are. We've agreed to live together, and 1992 Constitution, Article 21(1)(c) agreed that freedom of worship, and again, do you know the Constitution did not designate where that practice can take place. The Constitution allowed the practice to take place everywhere, religious practice. If we elders of this country can live together, coexist, why can't we allow Christians' children to go to Muslim schools and feel free to worship? And how can't we allow Muslim kids to go to Christian schools and to worship and feel free? In any case, we Christians, we even have the bigger responsibility to allow them, because why? Our Jesus Christ, our Lord and our personal Savior, taught us that we should allow all children, every individual, to come to Him. How do we discriminate? I will tell them that go. In any case, what are we talking about? We are talking about God, religion. Christians call God. Muslims call God. The name is Allah. I believe that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he himself did not discriminate. I don't think that our brothers and sisters, Muslims, should discriminate. I don't think our Christian brothers and sisters, whom I proudly belong, we should discriminate. I think this matter should not engage our attention too much. You see, I had some of my friends, Christians, who says that, okay, so if you know you're a Muslim and you don't want to, obey our rules, don't come to the school after all. Really? You see? Don't come to the school after all. But you built your school in Ghana, and the Constitution of Ghana allow the man, the young man, the young girl to come to your school. The Constitution allow him. And again, if that's what we're going to do, then let every school bring their rules and regulations to the Ghana Education Service and prefer those who should come to their school and those who should not come to their school, so that the Ghana Education Service will, if agree, you run the school. If do not agree, you will not run it. Don't forget that all these things might be premised on the Ghanaian Constitution and 1992 Constitution, which is paramount and fundamental. I think that the earlier the Wesley Girls' School is being told that, well, unfortunately, we live in a country where freedom of worship is not actually restricted to you as a school, but it's a fundamental human right, and everybody must actually practice the religion he wants. And as a Christians, you have a responsibility rather to attract all children for Christ. Like the Bible says in Matthew chapter 19, the verse number 2, the verse number 4, the Wesley Girls School have a bigger responsibility to accept all Muslims children and train them rather in godly manner. Rather than thinking of planting discrimination among them, where we, the elderly people in society, we embrace each other. I don't think that is the society we want to create. I don't think so.
Now, the Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council of Ghana say that they are aware of all the things you've said. But there is a but, and I'll read that but to you.
Read the but.
Yes, I'll read the but to you. But before I read that but, we'll take a little breather. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. When I come back, I'll read a portion of the Christian Council and the Catholic Bishops' Conference statement that they've issued on this matter. It must have been 2 days ago or so. And then I'll situate the argument in its proper context. So please stay with us.
Start your Kids' Day the right way, filled with confidence to take on any challenge. Pepsodent Kids contains the right amount of fluoride and sugar acid protection to care for their developing gums and teeth. Grab either orange or strawberry so they brush with the sweet flavor they love morning and evening. Pepsodent Kids, giving your children a bright smile for a brighter future.
Ghana's biggest real estate event is back, and it's even better. Looking for your dream home? Want to invest in land or explore real estate opportunities? Then don't miss the 8th edition of the Mikasa Home and Property Fair. Meet and connect with Ghana's leading real estate developers, mortgage providers, home improvement experts, and more, all under one roof. You'll also get access to free seminars and expert-led info sessions covering everything you need to know about buying, financing, and owning property in Ghana. Date 5th and 6th December 2025. Venue, the Icon Event Center, East Legon, a minute drive from the East Legon Tunnel. Time 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. Attendance is absolutely free. Register at mikasa.com/fair. Headline sponsor, Gold Key Properties. Platinum sponsor, Clifton Homes. Media partner, City FM and Channel 1 TV.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enko ye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se mi nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oh yiwa. Enye mo give us JC mixture and any capsules. Aye numbum. En ho asem na mo kana. E boa emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be boa wo kunu. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya ne nim tisese ne oyi chokwa. GC mixture and then a capsule. Achesa.
A painful battle one more menu for one and Quada when you feel to me.
Achesa. Wabedum, Tamaso. Hey, J. Watch it, not learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makoyama Besisia. A bozig. I can say no, ya conati, and the more drink woman. Hey. But I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old dish.
Eji, Dabu, baby womb. Ready? Hey, baby womb. Ah, Eji, I'll cause some discomfort. Ah. Sorry, well, uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral?
Say a Pesori insecticide GB at a user. Co pharmacy in a shop biamu. Na mum say a pharmacy supermarket and a shop ra. Na repedudu to a cotonwa. On for Royal Dutch and our Aerofield Trading. FE spray with Daima.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too. Your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa, dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey you later.
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God up boom. If you put it toye, so would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey.
Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, Mommy, a simple dilation. Mr. Good Luck no check me well.
Yeah,
man. Easy car. Or dial star 712 hash.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
I'm his birthday.
Oh, how romantic!
And he followed the prompt, yes. And then boom, confirmation test.
One quick, pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like 7.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, do you have family payment? Before December, may release a motivational album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
The biggest gathering of our prestigious Ghana Energy Awards is happening live. Date Friday, 28th November. Venue Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. Time is 6 p.m. prompt. Theme: repositioning the energy sector as a pillar of national development. Special guest of honor: Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Jinabo, the Minister of Energy and Green Transition. For tickets and sponsorship, call 0303-940-300. Industry partners: Volta River Authority, JK Huglet Transport and Company, We Power Authority, Petrosol Platinum Energy, Minergy Technology, Ghana Gas, Most Energies, Gridco, Comac, GNPC, Sunona Sogli Power, NPA, PURC, BCG, Energy Commission, COPEC, Media Partners, Metro TV, Graphic News Plus, Ghana Energy Awards, redefining excellence.
You're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. I have Kofi Ofosun Kansa, who is a former CEO of NEIP, and also Theophilus Vondi, who is MP for Trifo Amokwa. Hope I got the pronunciation.
Trifo Etimokwa.
Etimokwa, yes, Trifo Etimokwa. Both of them are here, and we're discussing this very, very controversial matter, which has to do with the religious practices of students at Wesley Girls High School, and all the other reactions that have greeted what we've heard being some restrictions that Wesley Girls is placing or imposing on the practice of some other religious faith apart from the Christian religion. So I told you that all the, I'll call it the commentary that you've made, the Christian Council of Ghana and the Methodist Bishops Conference, they agree with you. However, this is what they say. They said they also recognize the practical challenges that accommodating multiple religions would create. Adjusting timetables, allocating prime prayer rooms, revising uniforms, or managing perceptions of inequality would impose significant administrative burdens. These challenges are not hypothetical. They risk undermining the order, focus, and equality that are essential for discipline and academic excellence. A single unified school culture serves the entire student body far more effectively than a fragmented environment in which students operate within separate religious frameworks.
My brother.
And it says, our position is grounded in constitutional and legal principles, particularly the right to freedom of association and religious liberty. These rights protect both individuals and institutions. As Christian communities, we have the constitutional right to operate schools that express our faith. Expecting us to suppress the Christian identity of our schools to accommodate every religious group would infringe upon this freedom. You see, this is where they are right. This is where they are wrong.
Hold on.
Nobody is asking Wesley girls to suppress, okay? Nobody is asking them to suppress their Christian identity.
You see?
To the extent where they're saying that the schools, it will suppress the Christian identity of the schools and accommodate to accommodate every religious group.
He's asking for that in his reliefs.
Yes,
He's
yes,
asking for that.
I get it. No, I get it. I think that, okay, so that's a response to what's our future.
It's part of the reliefs he's seeking.
Now, hold on a second. Just one second. It's ultimately,
yes,
our stance is rooted in the very heart of our missionary purpose.
Okay.
So the same missionary purpose that you talk about, which is Christians must do ABCD.
Yes.
Okay. But it says these schools were never established merely to instruct in mathematics, literature, or science. They were founded to form young people holistically, intellectually, morally, and spiritually. But as for Islam, it's not spiritual. So it can only be spiritual when it comes to Christian religion.
Don't be sarcastic.
That's what I'm inferring from what they're saying.
Okay, right. That's fine.
In the light of the gospel, do you see?
What is the
gospel? So you can only be spiritual.
What is the gospel?
Then it said, Christian worship, formation, and values are not peripheral additions. They are integral to our identity and the very reason for our existence. To demand that we secularize our environment and remove Christian practices, nobody is asking you to remove Christian practices. Anyway, is to undermine the foundational mission that brought these institutions into being. So this is where they say.
So do you know something? Do you know something?
You agree with them?
Yeah.
Do you know something?
All right.
I agree with them.
The very constitution that they are referring to, that nobody should undermine their constitutional right of freedom of association and freedom of worship, they are trying to undermine somebody else's own. Do you understand?
Right.
Because the Bible, the same constitution says that, if you read further, it says that inasmuch as you practice your own freedom of association and worship, you must do it in consideration of others' own. Not to infringe on others' own too. Number two, all the administrative difficulties and what have you they've expressed and all that are not superior to the constitution that says everybody should be allowed to practice his religion. It is not superior. Again, if they had said, that, well, if you want to practice your religion, we will not alter or edit, or if you like, reverse and prepare our administrative practices to fit the purposes of prayer time and all that, you are free to do, but our program will run the way they are supposed to run. We will assess all students with the standard we set to assess all students. But you have your rights to run. I will have no problem with that.
Okay.
But you see, let me tell you something. Ghanaians, let's be careful. You see, Israel-Palestinian fight, for example, is largely based on religious differences.
Right.
You've
gone far. Nigeria.
Hold on. Let's be careful. In Nigeria, we've all seen these adoptions and so forth and so on. In Ghana, we've become an example of equal coexistence with each other.
Okay.
Brothers see brothers, sisters see sisters.
Okay.
The beginning of articulating, teaching our children this kind of religious discrimination.
Okay.
From secondary schools that they will grow with.
Okay.
To be realizing that Christians in Ghana are different from Muslims in Ghana is planting something horrible I do not want to mention.
Okay.
That we should be careful not to go there.
All right.
Again, I thought that the Constitution should rather be saying what I'm saying, and Christians should be praying to accept all people.
Okay.
Christians rather should not be letting people go.
Okay.
Because our fundamental right as a Christian, our duty and our purpose, the great agenda, is to go ye all the world and preach the gospel.
All right.
And bring all human beings to Christ. No discrimination. Didn't say bring Christians to Christ or Muslims to Christ.
All right.
All, A-L-L, all to Christ.
All right.
And I think we should rather bring all to Christ.
All right.
Thank you.
Just yes, in summary. So we'll go to Pandayas.
I agree with the Catholic Bishops' Conference and the Christian Council in the sense that the gentleman who went to court is seeking a declaration to prevent or stop all mission schools from undertaking their religious practices on campus, or asking all students to undergo those religious practices. And I think that would be very unfair to those mission schools because I think the partnership they have with the government to educate the citizen has been a very healthy partnership, and we should not split us over this issue. So we should allow them to undertake their religious practices, and every student, as I've said already, every student who wishes to enroll in a mission school should be prepared to undertake the compulsory services. This has gone on for over a century, and no Muslim or atheist or somebody who doesn't believe in the doctrines of any of the mission schools has died. Well, nobody. The AG is supporting Wesley Girls High School. I think partly because of this. Because he has filed a response rejecting claims that the position the school took is unlawful based on the grounds that the school was set up on Methodist doctrines. So they are at liberty and it's lawful for them to do whatever. But what we are asking for is some allowance for non-Methodists to be allowed to practice their faith for peaceful coexistence. And before I end, let me use the last 30 seconds to respond to something Honorable Bondi said earlier on SIC profitability. Before President Kufuor took over, SIC was making losses. Then Oseji revamped the place to make it profitable again. NDC came under Ms. Mahama. I will give you figures from 2012 to 2026, and they started making losses again during the Ms. Mahama. 2012, they made a loss of 8 million. 2014, they made a loss. 2016, they only made a profit of 5 million. But if you look at 2017 to 2014, the figures have been going up.
I mean 2017 to 2020?
To 2024. Yeah, 11 million, 44 million, 9 million. It was profitable through the 8 years. So I don't know where Honorable Wendy got the idea that we've run down SIC, when actually we revived SIC to make it a profitable state insurance company to even pay dividends to government.
Let me read a few messages that have come through. So Reverend Jones Latte, he's a minister of God, and but interestingly, not interestingly, but a good thing is that he's also a lawyer. So for practicing in the UK, in England. So he says, what happens at Ahmadiyya schools? Do they provide a worship place for Christians? He wants to know. Okay. There's a judicial discretion must be exercised rightly by the Supreme Court to ensure safe discriminatory practice. What if two students in a school say that homosexuality must be taught in schools as a matter of human rights under the Constitution? Moreover, no constitution is practiced in a vacuum. The 1992 Constitution provides 2. Every person in Ghana, whatever his race, place of origin, political opinion, color, religion, creed, or gender, shall be entitled to the fundamental human rights and freedoms of the individual contained in this chapter, but subject to respect for the rights and freedoms of others and for the public interest. The key is respect for the rights and freedom of others and for the public interest. And Okay, it says Dominic is wrong. The Israel-Palestinian conflict is not religion, but land. It's about land. But there's some elements of religion in there. Yes, it's predominantly about land. That's true. But there's some, because the Palestinians are Muslims and the Israelis are Jews. There's some religious element in there. But again, Reverend Joe Slati, where maybe I disagree with you respectfully is that the right for a man to say they want to sleep with another man, for the state to acknowledge it, it's not something that's
in our constitution.
That's not in the constitution.
It's provided for in our constitution.
You know what I'm saying? But this one
is also provided for
in our constitution.
No student can get up to decide on what should be taught in the curriculum.
So that's where the difference is.
I mean, maybe.
But Ibrahim says that Ibrahim is he is sending us a message from a fan call. And it says, Salamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, Ibrahim. He says, I doff my heart to Presec. After the school general PTA meeting just last Saturday, the headmaster requested to meet with us, the Muslim parents. Mr. Moro, it says, the reason for the meeting was to reassure us that our boys are in good hands and that our boys are, 1, freely allowed to worship, 2, the school has a Muslim patron who is outside campus to advise the school administration on matters on Islamic issues, 3, to request our assistance to renovate one of the classrooms. The school allocated Islamic prayer and activities. And so Mr. Moro, he said, the school has a special meal they prepare for our boys in the month of Ramadan. Kudos to Presec. Now, Ali Huraya, who is the Greater Accra DC Regional Zango Caucus coordinator, says that they're telling us to build our own school. We should stop complaining and set up. Okay. Austin Game, who is a labor expert, he says, this is a very strange proposition by Christian schools pushing out souls that desire education and to have the chance to witness the Christ-like spirit that operated in the sixth church-age prophet John Wesley.
Absolutely.
I'm pleading with the Christian Council of Ghana and the Catholic bishops to help keep the peace we have. I also urge the National Peace Council to be proactive in the handling of an issue like this. Now, the Peace Council has totally sided with the Christian Council of Ghana. I would just want to burst your bubble on this matter. They have totally sided. Yeah, the Peace Council.
I think they had an MOU last year.
What's the make of the Peace Council? Is it only Christians?
There are Muslims.
So how can you say the Peace Council?
Well, I'm talking
Based
about
on
there's I think there's a statement I saw. Must have been yesterday or 2 days ago.
Did the
I think
Muslims?
it's a 2024 MOU.
Oh, it's a 2024. Oh, yeah, the 2024 MOU, yes,
Yeah.
where they agreed on the modalities, how to go about things. But I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I think I heard an interview by a member of the Peace Council who says the council agrees with.
Do you know
anyway,
what you should do?
I stand to correct it, I can check that. But it says that I'm pleading with the Christian Council of Ghana and the Catholic bishops to help keep the peace we have. I also urge the National Peace Council to be proactive in the handling of this issue like this. Game and Game ADR Institute stands ready to use the Holy Bible, the Constitution, and the mediation tools to help both sides resolve this matter very quickly. Now, yes, that's Austin Game, the man who just sent the message. That's him. Now, Sani Salihu says that there can never be but or any counter-argument from the Catholic Bishops' Conference and their associates. They should just be tolerant and accommodating. They are societal members and cannot be an island of their own. We all suffered similar fates way back, and it is high time is looked at. Good morning. That's from Sani Salihu. Mystic Wonder Avuka inside in Sawame Dwaje says, good morning to you and your panelists. The Fenyo Marking led micro. Okay, so this one has got nothing to do with what we're discussing. But Manche Bruce is opining on this matter for the first time. This is the first time I'm hearing his opinion on this matter. You know, he's a lecturer, very senior lecturer at Takoradi Technical University. I'm deeply troubled by the current controversy surrounding the right of Muslim students to observe their religious practices in Ghana. During my secondary school days, nearly 3 decades ago, Christian and Muslim students coexisted harmoniously, often participating in each other's religious activities. Muslim students would join us in church services while maintaining their daily prayers and the seasonal fasting.
Exactly.
It is disheartening to know that in 21st century Ghana, we are now facing core challenges aimed at restricting Muslim students from exercising their constitutional right to practice their faith. The wearing of hijab and observance of daily prayers and fasting are fundamental aspects of their religious identity. As a nation, we must uphold the principles of religious tolerance and freedom enshrined in our constitution, ensuring that all citizens, regardless of our faith, can practice their religion without fear of persecution and marginalization. It says amazing convictions. Professor Eric Bruce Amate Jr. a.k.a. Manche Bruce II, Dean of Students, TTU. Oh, Onupa, what level you checking? Okay, you are the Dean of Students. Well, or maybe you've always been. I didn't know. Anyway, so Mansa Musa, who is a journalist based in the UK, he's with the Voice of London. He's also watching the show, and he says
he's watching.
Captain Moro, this morning, I am sure in downtown China, they are not discussing religion or faith.
Exactly.
But look at how the education is contributing massively to that nation's development.
Oh.
Even those who brought us religion in whatever form, they do education and science separately from religion. We in Ghana must back our ideas up and move on. Thanks from Mansa Musa of Voice of London Radio, UK. Hey, Mansa, you vex. Good morning, Moro. My name is Peter T. Why not the government put in place measures to involve the communities for community engagement, stakeholders meeting to enhance proper dialogue, to create a guideline for common environmental friendly with the schools? Religion should not be a barrier, let alone be encouraged as a communication barrier. So my very good friend Cobra is, well, that's how we affectionately call him, back in the day in Adisado College. Now he says that it wasn't a big deal for us to coexist 25 plus years ago on the Great Hill. Adisado College called the Great Hill. You know, Kofi wanted to come there, but
you're emphasizing that.
We stopped it.
Great Hill.
Fortunately, I had my first choice.
Please.
So, you had your first choice. That would have been a second choice.
So what has changed in 2025? I can bet you that the students themselves wouldn't mind and will gladly give their Muslim mates the space to offer their prayers. Have a good day. Cobra, good to hear from you. You know, interestingly, the suit that's been filed by Shafiq, the Shafiq Osman guy, he was in court yesterday.
Okay.
And there were 10 Christian friends of his who were there to solidarize with him.
Yeah.
They are in full force with what Shafiq is doing. 10.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's an individual. It depends on the individual.
So Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, good morning, my brother. Truth be told, I'm sad and my heart bleeds for this nation. In fact, what we're trying to do with the Wesley Girls matter must not be allowed and encouraged. Oh, you mean what Wesley Girls do must not be allowed and encouraged? This is a very dangerous path that we're treading upon. Are we saying teachers who are Muslims cannot teach Wesley Girls? Are they also having doctors who are Muslim who sent to Wesley Girls to save lives will not be accepted? Please, let's wise up. They should not also forget the fact that our taxes are used in running of the schools day in, day out. In fact, I'm sad, my brother. The Supreme Court should call Wesley Girls to order in order to save this nation. Now, in fact, the conversation now that is happening, is taking place amongst, we're told, some of the owners of some of the schools, some of these mission schools, is that maybe they would want to kiss goodbye whatever financial support intervention that the state is giving them. That's not even the issue. Some people say that, well, because we're getting state support,
they hide their own teachers.
That should not even be the issue.
They want to operate outside the framework of the 1992 Constitution.
Exactly. So that's the point you're making. We shouldn't allow that.
Reverend Jos Latte says, do you know where the Dome of Rock and Al-Qasr Mosque are located? Israel has not prevented Muslims from using these mosques. There is a zero religious matter in the Israel-Palestinian conflict. It's about land. Who owns Hebron? Check out my podcast on YouTube. Search Watchman Unlocked. Okay, sir, I'll do that. Reverend Jos Latte, I will do just that. Senior Citizen is also weighted in this matter. He says, what Wesley Girls Senior High School and other education institutions should realize is that they exist to educate. They are not a religious sect. Do they not educate their students about our religion? What is better than having to learn practically from those who belong to these other religions? This obviously gives my Christian religion a bad name. It is against the teaching of Christ our Lord, just as you said in your submission earlier today. Now, Peter T from Shukura, thank you very much for the commendation. Let me also look at this. Okay. All right. So I guess that I would end the conversation here and move on to some other issues.
Anyway.
Yeah, because as for the Wesley Girls matter, I'm sure that we can use the whole day to talk about it. Yes. It's very, it's heart-wrenching.
Yeah, it's a sensitive issue.
It's an emotional topic for me. You know?
Seriously,
and I've had some difficulty. Yesterday I went to town on this matter, and I'm told that I'm trending. I didn't go to town yesterday because I wanted to trend.
Seen it yet,
but apparently I'm all over the place. And those who are insulting me, and those who are
religious matters are very sensitive in Africa.
I think that if you were on the side of the fact that Wesley girls should stop what they are doing and
I said they should stop it. I told them that
and if that's your position and they are insulting you, I want to enjoy part of your insult.
Thank you.
Because it's a beautiful insult.
Thank you for the solidarity.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful insult.
We have just 10 minutes to do this.
Right.
I think it's a straightforward matter.
Yes.
And I'm told that we have a bus waiting for us outside. We're taking a trip to Bandai.
We're going to do by-election.
To do a by-election. But Honorable, what is it that we're hearing? I'm told that you don't want the Panda MP in Parliament. Why? What is his crime?
Well,
aren't you aware he has filed an appeal?
Yes, you see, the Court of Competent Jurisdiction, I mean, Competent Coordinate, delivered a ruling, a judgment, if you like.
Yes.
Annulling his election as a member of Parliament to be null and void. And the court actually ordered a rerun of that elections. And I think we should all just be abide by the ruling of the court. That's all we're saying.
Okay.
Again, we've received the judgment served on us by the bailiff, served on the Clerk of Parliament, Mr. Speaker. And so what it means is that we have it in Parliament, so officially. And so just as it was done in previous, matters that we've seen, I mean, Jechi Kwesin, you remember that? Jechi Kwesin, Asin North, you remember the famous Asin North? He was practically prevented from entering Parliament. And you see, at the time, the illegality that our friends in the MPP actually engaged in was this. But you see, many people did not avert their minds, You realize that when a member put himself up, an individual and is elected a member of Parliament elect, that individual is only a member of Parliament elect until he's sworn in to become a member of Parliament. Even when Jechi Kwesin was a member of Parliament elect, where the Speaker of Parliament or the Clerk of Parliament could not have jurisdiction over his legitimacy or not, they tried to prevent him from entering the House. Okay? This time around, we have a member of Parliament, full member of Parliament. The court says that the elections, what makes him a member of Parliament, is illegal and that we should rerun. And I thought that we should just, again, look, I think that the election results that were declared to make Nyandam, is that the name? A member of Parliament, was about 3,000 plus difference. That's a huge number. I remember my first election in Chufuetumokwa, I won by 1,800 and something. The second one, I won by 4,000 plus.
Yeah, so this one is about 3,700.
This is 3,000. That's a huge number.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's Matthew Nyandam. Sorry, you said Nyandam. It's Matthew Nyandam.
Nyandam, yes. Right? I mean, well, you can forgive me again. Point I'm making is that that's a huge number. So what are we afraid of? If truly Pandai people exercise their right, voted for you to become their member of Parliament, listen to the court. The court says there are irregularities, things that are not allowed in elections. It happened. And so results are annulled. I don't think this is the first time we're going to experience that in our political, environment, history. It has happened. You remember, like I said, Jechi Kwesin's issue, and we had to go to Asin North, go and do campaign and all that. If the people of Pandai truly voted for you, they will vote for you again.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So for me, this one, it's not anything we should talk about it too much. Let's just prepare.
Okay.
I mean, the Electoral Commission have been given that mandate by the courts and instruction to go organize elections at Mandai within how many days? 21 days?
Yeah.
30 days. 30 days constitutionally.
30 days.
So all you have to do is to go back and tell your people, hey, you voted for me, isn't it? I'm your member of Parliament. So far I've done A, B, C, D. And so we have to go again. 3,000 people, go ahead and vote for me, and then we'll see the true colors of it. But don't forget, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama won the Pandai, constituency. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Now, the member of Parliament then believed that he won the Pandai, constituency. There were so many evidence that they put forward. The court considered all of them. One of the things that for me strikes me a lot is this.
Okay.
I heard the embattled member of parliament now say this, that, 3 days before the judgment, he saw NDC people jubilating, and that's what the MP people are saying. They saw NDC people in the constituency jubilating, that they were going to win the elections, and that is, it means that they knew what had happened before the judgment was delivered.
Okay.
I mean, but with the greatest of respect, that is childish. Yeah. Listen, if you're going to court, you should believe in your matters that you are taking to court. If the reliefs you seek in court it's not released that you yourself you believe in, why would you go to court?
Okay.
So what is wrong about me jubilating that the courts will go for me?
Okay.
Then number two, before I know you want me to end, listen.
Yeah, because our time is almost
so
done.
Listen, the lawyer for Nyandam said that when he was going to court for the judgment to be read, he had prepared his appeal already in his packet. You can only appeal to a matter you know that did not go for you. I wonder what he knew, and how he got to know what he knew, and I've prepared appeal in his packet before going to hear the verdict of the court.
Okay.
And nobody is rather talking about that.
Right.
What it is that he knew, and how did he know it?
Okay.
That should be a concern.
So you won't allow...
But somebody jubilating...
So you won't allow Matthew in?
You shouldn't say anything.
Come here 5 minutes.
Thank you. I'll start from where Honorable ended. Okay. You know, the legal team of Honorable Nyandam went with an application to file a stay of execution because our NDC brothers had told us they had won the case.
True.
And we know now you are in power. And the president promised he was going to reset the judiciary.
So is that what you were doing?
So it's part of your reset. We know.
Is that what you were doing?
Made appointments and transfers. And some judges are expecting promotions and all that. So they will do things to, you know.
That's what you were doing, right?
You were not doing that. So catch the eye of the president. More, I'm disappointed by the judgment of the honorable judge. And I think he erred in law. Because there are decided cases, you know, top of which is the 2012 election petition, which had similar irregularities. I've gone through the NDC PC's petition, 43-item list, and the sort of irregularities he lists. And if you put together all the affected votes together, you don't get more than 500 votes. And this affected only 41 polling stations out of the 152 constituencies. What was the majority decision of the 2012 petition? The majority decision threw away the relief to, you know, declare overvoting polling stations now in void, to ask for a rerun of those places, voting without verification, biometric verification, you know, absence of serial numbers, and all those irregularities. And these irregularities are similar in nature to the what we had in the 2012 petition. The honorable judges said those evidence did not outweigh the evidence of the EC, which was the second or third respondent, you know. So because the burden of proof was on us, those reliefs were dismissed. The petition was dismissed. Even if you go to the minority position by Justice Ansa, Rosso and co., they said we should do a rerun of voting without verification, overvoting and those irregularities in only the affected polling stations. They didn't ask for a total annulment of the election results. So how do you ask for a total annulment of election results when only 41? Obviously, this is a judge who has erred in his decision. Now, how did this whole thing start? Honorable Nyandam won by over 3,700 votes. The NDC, having won the presidential, then vandalized the ballot boxes at the collation center.
How do we win and vandalize?
The videos are there because they lost the parliamentary one, you know, and it happens all the time. People vote skirt and blouse. People vote for the president and they vote against the MPs. So this is not anything surprising. Having vandalized the ballot boxes, the returning officer and the presiding officer moved the collation to the regional office to collate the results.
Without the knowledge of the participants.
And they collated results of polling stations results, that is the form 8A or pink sheet, 8B or pink sheets, which were signed by all the NDC polling stations and all the MPP polling stations. Every single pink sheet was signed. So if you've signed a polling station, a pink sheet, you've agreed and certified the results, and all what the presiding officer and then the returning officer, who is the EC chair for the constituency, all what they do is to collate and put the results together. How do you go to court and challenge them?
Well, the same law says that.
Yes.
Even with all the pink sheets available,
yes,
the other party must be there.
Yes, but who asked them not to go there? They ran away because they knew they had lost. Yes.
The place we all agreed as a coalition center, you took the thing away from there without telling me, and you say, why didn't I go?
In NDC t-shirts.
I mean, that's not good.
More, I'll forward them to you. I have
that's not good.
Videos of tax and NDC t-shirts in Mahindra pickups destroying ballot boxes and chasing electoral officers.
So you agree with me there are irregularities, isn't it?
The irregularity is what the NDC did.
So you are saying that there are irregularities. So we say let the elections be rerun.
My brother, fortunately for us, even though they destroyed the ballot boxes, the EC had all the pink sheets. And that is the basic document, the primary document which the returning officer and the presiding officer relies on for collation. So if that recollation or collation has been done, an Honorable Nyindam has won by 3,734 votes. How do you as a judge declare all the entire election non-void and ask for a recollation? So I think that based on the decided case of the 2012 election in the Akufo-Addo versus John Mahama and others, I know that this stay of execution will be granted and the appellate court will grant our wish to validate the collation of the results, which was done by the Electoral Commission. There won't be any by-election.
There won't be by-election.
It's going to uphold the appeal.
Anyway, so I guess that gentleman would have to end it here.
But 1 second, if you don't mind.
Our time is up.
Just one.
We had 10 minutes. I had 5 minutes.
To say to my Christian people that the standard is Christ.
Okay, that's fine.
The standard must be Christ. And that's all.
Anyway, Honorable, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. And Kofi Ofosu Kansa is a former CEO of the NEIP and also the Ghana Digital Center Limited, and also David Theophilus Dominic Von Dies, MP for Trifo Etimokwa, who is also a member of 3 committees and also a board member of SIC. Thank you very much for your time. It's been good to have you join us. Huh?
If God is for us, who can be against us? Come join us, count our blessings, for the Lord has been good. It's the Just Born Zoom Lion Annual Thanksgiving Service 2025. Brought to